I like that music.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I thought it was one that we didn't like.
So I did.
That's a similar beat.
Can't you get the bass, or is it just like
I can't go back? It's
Joe.
There's just a shuffle button.
You were having such a good Monday morning.
I was.
Yeah, this is fine. I'm starting to feel it too.
Oh boy.
So, like, have we started like the show?
It is show before the show, yeah.
We are in the show before the show. Let me get some things in here. Oh, we actually have people.
Oh yeah. Good morning, Ben.
Hey.
Happy Monday, Tanya.
Guys, welcome into the show. Appreciate the show before the show. Everybody's ready to get it going. Most schools back in session around the country.
Yes, they are. I love seeing all the pictures of all the kids going back.
Yes, people said they missed us on Friday. Good morning to everybody.
Although I missed everybody, I had a great Friday.
I saw you on Friday.
You did?
Oh my gosh, Joe.
What'd you guys do?
Joe, come on, dude.
I just got to come in late. Like I got to oversleep on a Friday.
Yeah, you had a work day, huh?
Yeah. Good morning, Annette, everybody. Karen, Addie, everybody. Thank you for liking, subscribe. Hey guys, by the way, if you can go to our platforms, like and subscribe, share the show. If you don't have a X account, you should get one. If you don't have TikTok, I know it might be a pain in the ass. Get one. Just like, we're just trying to get as many likes and followers as possible so we can actually go live on TikTok as well. We need a couple hundred more followers there. All right, your weekend was all right too then, Megan?
Yes, it was good. Had a lot of things going on with some women that needed some help, but one of them worked out. The other one did not. So, but yeah, everything was good. Getting ready to go back to school tomorrow, the kids.
Also want to remind everybody, you can check out our original content every single day on our Facebook page, on YouTube, Instagram. Well, we're getting the Instagram one put together. X, TikTok. We have content there that's pumping out every day, our reels. It's really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's fun too.
Broadcaster Authority has been putting those reels out. They sound and look really good.
Oh, so Trisha, you saw Eric playing Saturday night. That's awesome. I hear that venue's great. Good morning, Kimberly.
Appreciate everybody jumping in to the show before the show.
So, Annette, this would be your perfect time to go to YouTube since you're having an issue with your buffer on Facebook. If you can.
Yeah, you had it's also a good weekend for you too. You found out on Friday you have a freshman and a junior that both made your varsity soccer team at the Smet. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
It was a big deal for Mom. I'll tell you, it was a long week. As you guys know, I was stressing out during tryouts and cuts all week. But yeah, they made it and they're really excited. And now they just got to work their butts off. You know how it is, Vic.
I do.
You've always had youngins that are played up.
I lived it myself. I coached. Kids are in it. Yes, all of the above. Thanks, guys, for liking, subscribing, and letting people know. Let people know about the show. Live, if not live, whenever, just to go and check us out. We're on the podcast as well, the audio platforms.
Hey, Joe, could you warm me a little bit?
Could I what?
Could you warm me up a little?
What do you mean?
On the
for my that sounded.
I don't know. I still don't know what you mean.
Warm, cool for
her face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was funny. You said, "Can you warm me up?"
Oh, you see, you too.
I was gonna say the thermostat. We can't control it.
Can you come in and snuggle on me and warm me up a little bit? It's only 95 degrees outside.
I'll let you wear my jacket. I'll give you my jacket. Chivalry is alive and well in the Cancel This studio.
Joe didn't offer me his jacket. I'm glad somebody did.
90 degrees outside. I don't have a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Vic's the only one professional enough to wear
have your.
Every now and then
you don't have your jacket today.
Phil Donahue passed away.
Yeah, gosh, that just reminds me.
One of the original architects of the talk show.
Mm-hmm. My mom used to watch him.
Everybody did.
And
you have any choices?
All My Children and General Hospital. That's what I remember growing up.
Trump has to stop with the Trumpiness and get back on track. The woke breaker. Somebody just put that on the chat line. Appreciate you guys jumping in on the chat line. We'll try to get to as many of those comments as possible as we get started here at 9 o'clock. Good morning, everybody. Once again, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show, letting people know we got things going on. Let's get people all here. All right.
Logan, what do you mean Megan hasn't changed? Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't ask you that because God only knows what you're going to type out here.
All right, guys, we are ready to just about get this thing started, ready to rock and roll on a Monday. If we missed anything, you guys want us to cover something, let us know, of course. You know what we do here. Appreciate you liking, subscribing, sharing the show.
Annette, I agree with you about Trump's demeanor at the first debate. Going back to that, I do. I agree.
Hey, Joe, at the start of when we come up out of the start of the show, could I do our advertisers just I'll zip the room really quick?
Yeah.
And then I'll do a bigger one at the end.
Thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. Joe, can you warm me up?
Oh.
We don't have control of the thermostat.
Oh, gosh. Hi, Roland. Yes, we're here.
Rolling. All right, let's go ahead and start the show then, Joe. Let's get it on.
Oh, you were talking about the other boy, but I'm glad you're here, Roland.
Hey guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret in the house, and of course, Rojo running the boards, making that we look and sound as good as we possibly can. It's Monday, August 19th. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Special thanks to our show sponsor, Complete Auto Body Repair. Once again, Complete Auto Body Repair. Everything for your vehicle from front to back, inside, outside, including the tires. CompleteAB.com. Let them know when you go in that you appreciate them advertising on Cancel This. Listener Glenn took it in the other day, told him about Cancel This. They said, thank you for letting us know. 314-731-7999. Also, David Gregory had a chance to catch up with Dave after his big state Senate win. He's putting together his staff right now. He is the conservative injury lawyer. 314-619-4230. The dude literally works 24/7. That's why he wins all the cases that he wins, and the conservative cases. And the freedom cases and the freedom of religion cases. He's undefeated. He kicks ass. I used him for vehicle, was hit twice, used him twice. Did really well. And when you tell him that you're calling him from Cancel This, oh yeah, he knocks off, I think, about 5% of what they normally get, and he gives it to you so that your money that you get back is even better. So if it's you, a friend, a family, a loved one that's been in an accident of any kind, let them know. 314-619-4230. Also, WeQuipUSA.com. If you want to rent some products or put your own products up, check out WeQuipUSA.com. They connect you to people in your area, and it's backed by insurance. If you're going to grill, you grill with the best charcoal there is. If you don't believe me, buy a bag, crumble it in your hands. That's how you know the best charcoal. It crumbles right in your hands. And the best charcoal in the country is made in Missouri. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in your local stores. If you haven't checked out Capriati's, it is amazing. Some of the best unique sandwiches you're going to find throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. over on Manchester Road in Rock Hill. And if you need anything from a real estate standpoint, you got to check out Megan Livingstone, 314-249-1708, Megan.Livingstone@exprealty.com. Her positive, thorough approach to make sure that you handle all the ups and downs of realty is something you want to check out. Also, if you're looking to get into the industry of flipping, buying, selling, give her a call. She can work with you from that standpoint as well. This is cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Projo in the house as well. We're ready to get things going. Okay, the DNC gets started tonight, and only the DNC. Only the DNC. I'm sorry, I don't want this to come across as being too bad. Only the DNC can start their big week of, look at us, rah, rah, rah. Oh, we're going to build a fence around it, and we're going to build a fence around Chicago, so we're not going to let people get in. Wait, they're building a wall? Wait a second. The Democrats are building a wall around the DNC in Chicago. Isn't this kind of hypocritical?
Shame on them.
What's going on?
Naughty. They're not supposed to be building walls or fences.
And why are they building a wall? I guess it's to keep out all of the pro-Palestinian, Hamas, Hezbollah supporters, isn't it? Is that what they don't want to have people come in?
It's not very welcoming, is it?
Susan says, Megan, it's to keep Joe Biden out after he gives his speech tonight.
or to keep him in so he doesn't start wandering around downtown Chicago.
He started
One
off
of the
tonight.
two.
He started off Joe Biden. They're bringing in Joe Biden. He's gonna kick things off. I couldn't think of a better way to kick things off for the Democrats. Nice job.
Yeah.
Unless they want to start things at the lowest point possible. While people are still walking. It's sad. This dude is the president. He shouldn't be the first guy. He should be the guy introducing Kamala Harris on the last night, right? He shouldn't be the first. That's like the lowest position possible. They kicked his ass out. Now they're using him to start off on a Monday night as people are still getting in. I mean, it's bad. It's really, Joe Biden is getting everything he deserves. And the Democrats should be called out on this. This guy is the freaking president of the United States with zero respect.
Yeah, they're just getting it out of the way. They're letting him go. And I mean, because there's not going to be a buildup, people waiting and waiting. Oh my gosh, when's he going to talk? Is it going to be Wednesday or Thursday on the final night? No, they're just like, let's get him in. Let's let him say a few things. He doesn't want to be here anyway, because apparently he's still super bitter at all of the people that cooed him out. So, they're just going to get it done. And
cooed him out. I like that.
Yeah. Cooed him out. And then he can go back to the beach and enjoy some Joe time, some sleepy time. Good night.
It's embarrassing. This is why the Democratic Party is an embarrassment right now. And I'm not trying to be over the top. It's an embarrassment that your president, you kicked out, and then you're using him first. And then it's like, let's forget about him the rest of the week. If Americans have half a brain, they'll know that, Kamala, you are a part of the problem, and we'll get more into you. You can't do away with Joe Biden. The media is helping you, of course, and other Democrats, but people with half a brain are explaining you are the problem. You were part of the problem. You were a liar, a cheater, a snake, a skank, and all the above. I'm sorry. Right. It is what it is.
Well, and two, you have to remember that they're trying to keep these two as separate as they can. They're keeping Joe on the back burner. They want people to forget that Harris is connected to Biden and has been for the last 3.5, almost 4 years. They're trying to make everybody forget that she has been on the same ticket. So all of the same legislation, all of the same policies, they're trying to separate the two. So the less that we see Joe Biden, the less we hear from him, the more people will forget that he's the president of the United States right now, today.
That's why we didn't see her for so long, because they wanted us to forget that we even had a vice president. I feel
exactly
like they knew
right.
this was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Of course they did. This has been coming for quite some time.
And you know what the sad thing is we do forget. Like we really do.
Because there's a lot that goes on.
There is. And so someone was saying yesterday, nobody's even talking about the assassination attempt anymore. How quickly, that was just a month ago. And
thank you for bringing that back up.
Yes. How quickly people forget about these huge, incidences and issues. And we just forget about it and just move on. And that's why everybody has been so excited about Kamala Harris, because like you said, Joe, people forgot that she's the vice president. And they're just like, oh, this is the new gal in town. Look, she's going to take Biden's place, and we're going to get her in, and she's going to be all new and fresh and fancy and wearing her pearls and her polyester suits, and she's going to run the show.
Greg says, speaking of Clinton, Hillary is going to be on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Okay, get that. News is old after 15 days. Sometimes news is old after 3 days.
Yeah, that's true.
It really is, because there's so much that's going on, especially when you have a national media that's geared towards promoting Kamala and not doing the job that they should. Speaking of news, he started in news, but then he became talk show, and then it really wasn't news. Phil Donahue died at the age of 88. He passed away. God bless his soul. He was a Democrat, but not like we see today. He was an old school Democrat. He let his opinions get out there sometimes, but everybody's parents, and maybe even some of us, watched Phil Donahue. We did. And if you like the news business as I do, you remember him. I used to watch him and go, damn, it's a pretty popular show. So thoughts and prayers to his family as well. But 88 for Phil Donahue. The news cycle is one in which now we see it's almost because you have it 24/7. Things can be old by the next day. Yeah. Especially depending on the story. And you just bring up the assassination attempt, which Republicans are still trying to get to the bottom of. The Trump family is still trying to get to the bottom of. But the media doesn't want you to know that. And the media won't talk about it. And they won't push those stories forward. It's all a love fest for Kamala within the national media.
That's right. You know, and I guarantee that Social Security, the Secret Service will be on point. They'll have who knows how many at the DNC this week. Like we talked about, they're already putting fences up. They're barricading streets for miles. There are streets that are barricaded. And so security is going to be, high because they see what can happen. But it's just unfortunate that Donald Trump didn't have the same kind of security that he should have had this entire campaign. So, but like we say, they just keep feeding us with more and more stuff so that we forget about what's happening and what's really happening. But we're going to remind people today about who Kamala is and what she stands for and all of her crazy policies that she has pushed since, whether she was an AG, a DA in Congress. She's unhinged in a lot of ways.
Well, we set the stage for the DNC. They kick it off tonight. It'll be a love fest for Kamala all week. It'll also be a disassociation of her and Joe Biden. It will be lies, cheating, stealing, and blaming Republicans. It will be a situation where you're not just going to get truth. We've already seen Kamala trying to talk about and disassociate herself from what she did herself. Now, this clip with Kamala talking about beef and bread prices being up a whole lot. And then she wants you to rehire her. She is a part of it. And we told you this was going to happen. We're going to blame the old guy and his crackhead, coke addict, sex addicted, STD living, nasty ass son Hunter and their whole cheating family as they start. And more on the cheating family in just a second. Mm-hmm. Listen to Kamala trying to disassociate herself. And she is the problem.
As president, I will take on the high costs that matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food. We all know that prices went up during the pandemic when the supply chains shut down and failed. But our supply chains have now improved, and prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%. As president, I will.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. And you are part of the problem, the worst vice president in the history of this country. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden we're supposed to believe you. Rehire me because hire me and I'll fix the job that I just messed up myself.
That's right. And don't forget, 2 weeks ago, she said that the reason that eggs and bread, the cost of those were high because the cost of living is high. This gal has absolutely no clue how the economy works. She has no clue how inflation works. And that's why she's so quick to say, I'm going to snatch this and I'm going to take this away and I'm going to do this and I'm going to go after big pharma and I'm going to, she has absolutely no clue how things work, but it's going to be interesting to see how she's going to bring these costs down when she's had the opportunity to do so for the last 3.5 years.
She's a liar and she's fake, like the Democrats and the DNC are and their followers. And here's why. Oh, we don't want walls in America. We don't want borders. We don't want fences. And then what do? They put one up right around the DNC.
It's unbelievable to me.
They're fakes. And I'm sorry if you're a Democrat. I'm not trying to be mean, but you're a fake. You're a fake. You're a phony. Call this stuff out. Tell us that we're wrong and prove it to us. And then I'll apologize. But you're a fake and a phony if you don't call out your own party for putting walls up, for dividing people, for not being inclusive when it comes to the DNC. You're afraid to be inclusive. The Republicans are the inclusive party. The Democrats like to exclude, the party of the elites. And then, of course, the party of sending the false messages through the media. Look at what the DNC is doing in this report to keep people out. This is sad. This is a Democratic way.
Behind me over my shoulder, you'll notice those fences and snowplows in place. We've actually watched all morning as they have started to bring in more metal fencing, more barricades, and these snowplows have been kind of navigating around those barricades and getting into place around the UC. Take a look at some of this video we got earlier this morning. You can see a lot of cars have been turning around already as they're met with these new closures that have been set in place overnight and early this morning.
I love democracy. Like, I wish I was going to the convention, but for the neighborhood, there's been like no communication and very little engagement of the people who are closest to it. The parking restrictions have changed 3 times in the last week on our block, and no one's like communicated to us that the protest route actually goes right in front of our building.
And that resident telling us that most of the information he's gotten actually is coming from us or other local news outlets. He says his hopes are that over the next few days, there's more direct communication from area law enforcement or even from the Secret Service. And really his concerns, Mugo Adrina, have been echoed by a lot of drivers and neighbors we've talked to in this area this morning. A lot of frustrated drivers, to say the least. We know security will just continue to get tighter as we approach opening day on Monday.
All right, Joe, we can get out there. This is what the Democrats are doing. I thought they're so inclusive and we want everybody there. We don't want walls or fences.
No.
And they don't want the pro-Palestinian, pro-terrorist, pro-Hamas, Hezbollah groups to cause problems. And they already are. They're already in Chicago causing problems.
And they don't care about the people in the neighborhoods. They don't care about the community. They don't even have enough respect for these people to communicate what's going on, how they're going to park, how they're going to get in and out of their house, how they're going to go to work, how the kids are going to go to school, that there's going to be protesters marching by the thousands going right down their front yard in their streets. They don't care. And the party of the elites, they don't have this free, we don't want fences and we don't want to put walls up and we live so open. We know that all of these people, they've got gates and fences and walls and locks and more locks surrounding their homes. This is just so hypocritical in so many ways. And it's just funny because the whole world now can see who they really are, that we're going to fence this, we're going to fence that, and we're going to put a wall up, but we're not going to protect you. We're not going to protect the citizens of the United States of America from terrorists coming in from our open borders and from gangs from Venezuela coming in. No, you guys fend for yourself. We're going to take care of us, the party of the elites, and you guys just have to figure it out.
What are they going to be talking about? I don't even know what they can talk about. I mean, maybe abortion, maybe. But keep in mind, the DNC, what are they offering? What is it? Free hot dogs, free vasectomies, and free abortions?
You got it.
Via signing up. Every slot has been filled. I don't know if they're actually taking place on site, but I do know that they had slots available where people sign up for.
They did.
I don't know what the hot dogs are about, but
well, I guess just, trying to make sure that people aren't hungry because they're so concerned about the community that they want to make sure that while you're signing up for your reproductive surgery, that you can have a hot dog to fill your belly. And, Vic, they're going to have a 20-foot IUD model that's going to be there to, attract attention, which is just so, it's contradictive of what they're doing. So instead of educating people about how to not get pregnant, how to not need an abortion. So instead of educating and handing out free birth control, and educating about abstinence, educating about how to keep yourself safe and not put yourself in predicaments where you could be in an unfortunate situation where an unwanted pregnancy would arise. But instead of doing that, they're just going to make it super fun. And they're going to put hot dogs next to a giant IUD where you can go then and sign up and get your abortion or your vasectomy. This is no joke, people. This is who this party is. It's a disgust. It's disgraceful. And this is how they're bringing people in. This is who they want.
The DNC has also done something else. I don't think the Republicans did. And I think it's a good deal. Allegedly, they are streaming the DNC this week on TikTok, on Instagram, and YouTube. That's smart if they were able to do that. But I don't think the Republicans did do that. So it will be spanned and put out to the masses. And then we'll see what is said. I mean, the problem is I have zero, and I have to watch some of it, but I have zero desire to watch anything because I've already seen what they are. There's zero platform policies. They're not talking about policies. And for those people keeping track, Kamala Harris is now on day 29 without a presser. Day 29 since she became the quote nominee. Once again, if you're a Democrat and you support this, you're a fake. Why do I say, and I'm not trying to be mean, but you are a fake because I'm just going for the color of her skin. Oh, because she has a letter D. You're not backing her on any sort of content or character because she hasn't said anything. Nothing. 29 days of running and hiding. And she allegedly called Donald Trump a coward over the weekend. The coward is Kamala. It's Kamala the coward with Timmy Tampon. She's refusing to talk because she can't. She's not intelligent. She doesn't know how to speak. And when she tries to speak, she gets herself in a lot of problems.
She does.
A lot of problems.
Well, she can't do it without a teleprompter.
And now there's word that her alcoholism, it's not like her alcoholism is now starting to show.
Yeah.
Or slurring and really struggling. And she's doing her best to be Barack Obama with their speech coach. Now she talks more slowly and she will only say a couple words.
But
and then when she talks, she says the most basic things and everybody claps and cheers. It really is rudimentary. It's very elementary. It's very sophomoric, the way she speaks, the way she talks. But I guess that's what gets a Democrat excited is something that's very mature, very, very easy, very surface. Don't make you think too much.
Yeah. But
that's why they love government, so government can take care of you.
And one of the best observations that I have made about Kamala Harris just in the last week is her ability to change her accent, her demeanor. She'll go from talking about, we got bread up, it's 50% more. We got eggs. We can't eat. We can't afford nothing. We got to borrow money just to live. And then all of a sudden she turns into Queen Mother. And then she says, well, the democracy is strong. Therefore the strength will hold it intact. And it's like, who are you? I mean, she just goes from one extreme to the next. But I mean, I guess, that's what you do.
Great point for Matthew, though. Democrats hate Trump more than they like her.
They
hate Trump more. And that shows you who they are as a people. And that's a problem.
And they're ignorant enough to vote for her. They're going to get more liberal, more progressive than we've had the last 4 years.
I just want to talk policy, Megan. And Democrats, the only thing I've ever heard a Democrat talk about when it comes to policy is abortion. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, we can't.
And that's it. And then even when they talk abortion, they can't talk because their party wants to, quote, have them go all the way up till end of pregnancy abortion situations. And Democrats they're running for the hills as well. It's just sad to see that there are people that let this game play them and they can't get out of it. You don't have to like Trump. You don't have to like Republicans, but at least there's a policy. There's a game plan that's put in place on the Democratic side. It's a mirage. It's not real. It's fake. Everything is fake. Kamala's fake. Timmy Tampon is fake. The messaging is fake. 29 days without a presser. It's fake. The new voice, the new acting, it's fake. The media messaging, it's fake. Fake as shit because nothing is as it seems. Nothing is real. And it stands out. You're like, wait a second. With Trump, like him or not, you know exactly who he is, what he's going to do, what he did before. He's got a policy in place for everything. And with Kamala, you don't know. It's just like, oh, she's great. Let's get on the train. Oh, she's great. She's black or she's Indian or she's Southern or she's Northern. She's Kama Chameleon. She'll be whatever you need her to be.
That's right. And she's slowly but surely starting to plug her economic, her strategies when she's doing these different rallies and when she's on this campaign trail. She's slowly starting to let us know. But what's funny is she is just hopping on the back of what Trump and Vance are saying. So she's even doing the child tax credit now. So she literally is sitting back, taking notes and waiting to see what they're going to do. And she literally is just copying it. So is she really going to come up with the tax credits? Is she really going to get fracking going again? Is she going to all of these policies that she's literally copying? Is she going to come through? Is she going to really do this? I don't think so. I think that she's just willing to say whatever she needs to get the votes, to keep the polls where they're at. And we'll just have to see what happens. But like you said, this is all an act. This is not real.
We've been calling this out for some time. Yeah. Her dad was a Marxist professor. She has had Marxist professor sort of leanings in her politics. It's coming more and more to light now. More people nationally are calling her out for it. She will steal Donald Trump policy if it sounds good. And then she'll add Marxist or Marxism policies in with it. And it's like none of this stuff even, it's like, what's the flavor of the day? Oh yeah, we're going to do this. Oh yeah, we're going to, Joe says a policy parrot. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The comma chameleon is a policy parrot.
She's just a tropical pet is all she is.
A tropical pet.
Oh, I think that's being super nice.
Oh my God.
That reminds me of a beautiful parrot.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
The policy parrot isn't so beautiful.
Commie want a cracker?
Yeah. But too, Kamala, we have to go back. And you'll hear her
just
lately.
Be real.
Yeah. She loves to go back and talk about the three things that she's done in her whole entire career. 3 things. It's like 3 things.
Really?
And she just, I don't think they're great
She
things.
did more than 3 things.
No, well, she sure did.
Willie was just one of them.
Oh my God. She's just willing to talk about a few of them. She loves to plug herself when she was AG or DA, and she loves to talk about how she went after, companies that conspired with competitors to keep the prices of electronics high, and how she'd win. She won $1 billion for these people, yet she's okay with people going and stealing from whether it's a mom and pop shop to a Chanel store. She doesn't care. She just allows these people to go and steal from people and slap them with if they get a misdemeanor. That's if.
Won't talk about it.
No felony. So how are these people that she's allowed with Prop 47 and just her social justice reform programs that she has, been known to just love and to pioneer? She doesn't care about the people that their businesses that have just been ravaged and people go in and just steal left and right. Why is she not going to bat for them? Why is she not going to bat, for the Walgreens and the CVS's and all of these companies that I'm surprised that any of them are even still open, truly, especially in the state of California. But why is she not going after money to recoup for them? When she's just allowed these people to just go in. I mean, we have to take a minute to go back and remember these times and remember what has happened in the last 10 years when the social justice reform programs happened. We have to remember what she did when we had the George Floyd riots and just protest after protest and riot after riot, and her actually wanting people to send money in to bail these people out. Yet she's not worried about the small business owners. She's not worried about the people right now that are in Chicago, the neighbors that live in the surrounding area. She's not worried about them. She's not worried about letting them know how they're going to live day to day for this week. She's so hypocritical, and it's just going to be, it's going to be really interesting to see again what Trump says when they get face to face. And I just can't wait for it.
Well, speaking of that, this whole week, the Trump campaign has a new mission each day: make America great again, make the economy great again, make America safe again. They're not sitting back. You're going to hear more from Trump this week. National media won't cover it. Newsmax will, Fox will cover it. We'll be sure to get that information out there. They're not sitting back. They're attacking hard, which is fantastic. And I have to give you credit too, Megan. Wasn't it you last week that said Trump should hire Tulsi Gabbard for the debate?
Yes.
And then Friday, the news dump day, it came out I haven't seen anything official yet, but that the Trump team was hiring or bringing in Tulsi Gabbard to help with debate prep for
Yes.
Kamala Harris. I don't think Donald Trump needs any help, but you know what? If Tulsi can add something and Donald's being humble enough, why not? But I think anybody would destroy Kamala on stage, even her new fake version with Obama painted all over her. Say as little as possible, let the media do its spin routine, and we'll take care of the rest. But Donald Trump, as great as he is, with some Tulsi Gabbard help too, maybe from a female standpoint, you called it last week, Megan. Sure enough, how about it?
I know.
Trump team bringing in Tulsi Gabbard, who absolutely destroyed Kamala Harris, if people don't remember, crushed her on stage, ended her presidential campaign, showing that she's a flat out idiot. And when I say idiot, I say it in the most respectful way possible. She was not prepared. She's still not prepared. She hasn't won any elections. She's been selected. She's been moved. She's been selected. She's been moved. She's not been elected.
Yeah. But here's what we have to remember. So Trump, we all know who he is. We all know that he's loud, he's passionate, he speaks very freely. And what I don't want to happen is what he's saying to get drowned out by how she is reacting to him. I can just see her going up and being, portrayed as this feeble woman that is getting bullied and pushed around by
she
this
is
big,
feeble. She doesn't have a brain to hang with Trump, and she doesn't have experience.
They're gonna take advantage of that. They are gonna work that to the core. They are going to allow her to get up there and be, please don't hurt me. Please don't be a sexist. Please don't be a misogynist. Be nice to me. I can't believe you said that. And then everything that he's going to say is not going to be heard because everybody's going to be too focused on how she's going to be reacting towards him.
Well, he's screwed in a debate because we already know what the media is going to do. I'm sorry. He will destroy her on policy. This guy is arguably the best president in the history of the country when it comes to policy. We have not had a president who's done more for this country than Donald Trump did in 4 years. If there is one, show it to me. Show me who did a better job and show me all the policy. Show me where the country was when they came in and where the country was when they left, and then where the country went after that president left. We have never seen a man as good of a president as Donald Trump. This is all a media hype hoax thing that's going on. And I'm going to show something else. People talk about, we're getting afraid with ratings, and they're over. And I say most of the poll, they're over populating these polls with Democrats. And more evidence is starting to come out of this now. Nick Sorter has started to put some of that information out to show how they're trying to come up with these numbers, calling more Democratic areas than Republican areas to try to push that message out. 100%. By the way, Matthew says, Vic, I completely agree. Trump was the most effective president in modern times, maybe ever. And a new name, it's Kabama. That is exactly what we're seeing because they hate Donald Trump so much. Donald Trump did more for this country, and the deep state and cabal, which the Democrats are a part of, hate to see the country do well. They want that government. They want the deep state. They want the World Health Organization involved. They want the New World Order. They want you supplying to whatever they are going to give and not pushing for yourself. Case in point, the new YouGov polling numbers. Down the middle polling numbers. Trump in 2020 had 32% Hispanic. He's now polling at 42%. These are real numbers. Black was at 9%. Now he's anywhere from 17 to 20%, almost double. Double. Men up from 44% to 54%. National media won't show you this polling, but we will. We'll be honest about the polling. This is why I'm not buying into the polling. What I'm buying into is the steal, which is why I hope it's too big to rig. Also, seniors, 45% in 2020, up to 57, almost 58%. Keep that in mind. And even with Biden getting the most votes, allegedly, in the history of anybody ever, which we know was a lie, he only squeaked by in the Electoral College by less than 50,000 votes across three states. Don't ever forget these numbers. The national media is not telling you this, but on Cancel This, we will, because we do the research and we show you the facts. We don't care about your effing feelings. We care about the facts. Then we'll have a conversation about feelings after. So put this in perspective. Even if Kamala improves her YouGov numbers by 30% between now and November 5th, the election day, and there's no way in hell she's going to do that, she still wouldn't beat Donald Trump. Don't get caught up in the polling numbers, people. That's my point on this whole situation when it comes to the media and everything that they're telling you with the headlines, whether it's digital, video, audio. Do not get caught up in what they're telling you, because Trump's support is getting bigger and larger despite what the media tries to tell you.
Well, and you're right. And we cannot get caught up in the polls. But I also don't think that it's too late for Donald Trump to, tweak his strategy a little bit. I don't think that it's too late for him to, keep his rallies, his interviews truly about policy and what he wants to do moving forward, instead of attacking the other side, because it's just not getting him anywhere. It truly isn't. We all know how he feels about Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Tim Walz. We all know. So what I think he needs to do is really start relaying to the American people what he's done. Remind people how good it was when we had Trump in office. Remind people that they had extra money to spend. And remind them what has happened with inflation the last 4 years, what has happened with our border, and what he's going to do to change it.
Can I add another remind people? Remind people that Kamala Harris is Joe Biden, that they are and were a team, despite the fact that they kicked him out, and despite the fact that they gave him an opening slot on a Monday night. And despite the fact that the House Oversight, Judiciary, Ways, and Means committees have all come out and said that Biden did in fact commit impeachable conduct. I repeat, the House Oversight, Judiciary, Ways, and Means committees have said that Biden committed impeachable conduct, defrauded the United States to enrich his family. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars of using his office, his public office, to gain money from foreign players. This is something we have never seen before. Yet the national media won't cover it. We will. Local media won't cover it. We will. This is a huge story, whether national media covers it or not. Overwhelming evidence by the House committees. And guess what? If they were lying, they could be sued. They're not lying. The evidence is there. The national media is not covering it.
And I think, like last week, I was saying to you on a side conversation, I think that...
And you know what? I know Democrats who think it's funny. They go, oh, yeah, we get away with it because we got the media in our back pocket.
Well, they got the media in the back pocket, the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA, all of them, any alphabet group. You're right. They do. You've got them in your back pocket. But I think that some of this is going to come to light because Biden's DOJ is now saying that there definitely is reason to go after Hunter Biden for a lot of his business dealings with Ukraine and some other countries. And I think that is probably one thing that they held over Joe Biden's head when they cooed him out. I truly do. I think that they came to him and they said, look, there are some things that are coming down the pipeline here, and we're not sure how it's going to look for you and your family if you are running for president again, and this is coming down the pipeline. So eventually something's got to come of this. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You've got Senator Grassley that is really championing this whole thing, trying to make sure that Hunter Biden, pays for his crimes. And so we'll just kind of, see what happens.
Boy, this is cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Projo in the house as well. The other thing to keep in mind about what's happening is even Don Lemon, he's banished from CNN and he's gotten caught in lies, and Elon made him look pretty silly. He did it to himself, but he went out and did a report in New Jersey. By the way, New Jersey is expected to be in play for Donald Trump. I know it may sound crazy, but look at this video. What Democrat Don found when he went to New Jersey and started asking around about who people would be voting for president.
We're here in Jersey, Atlantic City. Who do you support?
I plead the fifth. Trump for the win.
Tell me why.
I can't really call that right now, but I just feel like she's not good for president. She's good vice, but not for the actual lead role for the country.
Does it have anything to do with being a woman?
No.
Nice try, Don.
No, because I feel like women, nah, you're not going to give me that.
Your money's on Harris.
Yeah.
Who do you want?
Trump.
Why don't you like Harris?
She doesn't have any experience.
She's the vice president. She's a senator.
Yeah, no experience. No. She has no experience.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I just feel we need somebody that has a stronger background with the military and the world in general.
She was a prosecutor and an attorney general and a senator and a vice president. You're in a gambling town. Who's your money on?
I'm going to support the Democratic Party, but, I mean, Trump looked like he got it in the bag right now.
4 years ago, it was a lot better. I made a lot more money than I do now.
I know you feel that way, but that's not actually what the record shows. The economy is actually better under Biden. No, I'm serious. That's what the facts show.
Okay, you know what?
No, that's not because I watch CNN. Trump or Harris?
Trump.
That's who's going to win.
That's who's going to win.
Who do you support?
I support Trump. All the people that came to this country legally, it's not fair that they're letting all 10,000 to 15,000 people or 20,000 people here illegally. Have you seen San Diego? They're coming off the boats, off the water right here, off the ocean. Did you know Biden was flying them in? Did you didn't know that?
What do you Canadians think about what's going on here?
We think you're all nuts. We're just watching from afar and just enjoying the show.
I got to get out of Atlantic City. Where are we going to next?
Yeah, of course you do.
Didn't work out so well for you, did it, Donnie?
Don's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. He is. He always has been. Yeah, it's just rips white people married to a white guy. He got called out. He and Chris Cuomo. And he lied about COVID, everything. Don, but whatever. The point is that Don just got put in his place by New Jersey voters.
Yes, and
black New Jersey
and
voters.
He thought going to a blue town that he was going to get all the answers
That's
that he
wrong.
wanted.
Just be a normal journalist. Be honest. Don't do what you just tried to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I call him a POS, because of what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
It's just sad. Be honest, be real, be upfront.
I love how the one guy just laughed right in his face. He's like, oh my, how could you even say that? You know? Everybody did better with Trump, whether you like him or not. It was better. The world was a better place. Our country was in a better place. Our economic status was in a better place. Everything was better. And here we are. And things, you know, like he's a little dramatic at times, Trump is. But when he says that our country is in the toilet, it truly, truly is. We just, you know, fortunately, a lot of us, we don't see it that often, but, you know, it's everywhere. You know, Chicago's a perfect example. That place has really, really just gone downhill, and people are sick and tired of it. And there's a lot of former Democrats that are finally at the end of their rope, and they're saying, hey, you know, you're going to come here, you're going to host the DNC. How about take a look around? How about when you get here, instead of walking straight into that auditorium, why don't you look around? Why don't you look at the homeless? Why don't you look at the streets with illegal aliens running around everywhere? Why don't you take a look at these, you know, these housing facilities and take a look at how rapes have gone up, how abuse has gone up? Why don't you help clean up our city instead of just putting your blinders on, walking inside this building and acting like everything is hunky-dory, because it's not. And so, you know, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't have a big cleanup, like a Newsom cleanup like he does when he knows he's going to have visitors in town, you know, going through and cleaning up the city. But, you know, it is blocked off, and, you know, for miles down the road, they've got barricades up and, you know, making sure that nobody, you know, gets to them. And then you've got these protesters showing up, and these protesters, man, they got guts of steel. They're just coming straight out and they're saying, you better not reroute our march or else. Who does that? Who stands up in front of cameras and is like, I dare you, law enforcement, to even for 1 second try to tell us that we can't walk here if we don't want to. We can't walk there if we don't want to. This is what we are going to do. And then you've got bozos like Pritzker showing up. They're like, we just want to make sure that the protesters feel safe and secure. We're not worried about everybody else. We're not worried about, all the business owners or the neighborhoods or the tourist spots that they now have closed down because they are expecting violence. And what does he say? Does he say that he wants to make sure first and foremost that the people that aren't engaging in the protest are going to be safe? I didn't hear that from him. All he wanted to do was make sure that the protesters felt like they had a safe place to be heard. Let's see what happens, and let's see if they can manage to tear this city down.
This is so damn interesting when you look at what the Democrats are doing. By the way, tonight we're finally going to see Jill Biden, maybe one of the fakest of the fake. She's introducing Joe tonight because nobody else wanted to.
Jill who?
Yeah.
Where'd she
go?
we're
gonna win. And all these Democrats are like, Joe Biden's the best.
Joe
like
Biden, you
6
did
weeks
so
ago.
good. You answered
He's
all
so
the
good.
questions. You did. Look, he answered all the questions today. Joe, you did so good.
Then
Come on, Joe, you can do it. Get up there tonight.
And then when they kicked him out, oh, he was bad. Now we got Kamala. She's great. I feel bad for Democrats. Anyway, Jill Biden is going to introduce Joe tonight and talk about, get this, his amazing accomplishments.
Yes.
Which are what? Is it going to be a 30-second speech?
Wah, wah, wah. I mean, come on.
They're actually throwing this stuff on Democrats.
Hillary's going to talk this week. Bill Clinton, he's going to talk.
Isn't Obama?
Obama's going to talk. Yeah, they're going to have
UAW president, who is just a weak coward himself, Sean Fain, is speaking tonight. And that's because of what he says about Trump, and his own members don't respect him. We've had UAW members talk and join our comment line saying we do not support Sean Fain.
The Democrats didn't support Kamala Harris until 3 weeks ago.
Until they realized that was their only hope to try to keep Trump out.
Their only hope. So, and I haven't heard anybody say, in the last couple of days, that they still think that at the DNC they're going to do a surprise switch.
No, that's not happening.
And pull Kamala.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Hey, did anyone hear Joe the other day call Kamala? I thought that was so.
No, he always
funny.
calls her Kamala.
Sometimes he does Kamala.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he called her Kamala the other day, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I guess you can say it either way, but I just thought it was so funny coming from him. I'm like, oh, this poor guy.
Well, you have all of this that's going on right now. There is not going to be any stop of Donald Trump. In regards to trying to keep him from office. Over the weekend, you had retired General Michael Flynn coming out saying that he believes that Trump's going to be put in jail on September 18th. Okay, we have said over and over and over again, they will lie, cheat, steal, do whatever they need to do. The Democratic Party, the cabal, the deep state, which does exist and Democrats call out, will put him in jail to do whatever they can to stop him from campaigning, to stop him from being the president, to stop him from having any good momentum, to try to say, oh, we have peace and hope and love with Kamala. With Donald, we don't. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do this, but it will backfire. It's all about keeping division in this country. They've already tried to kill him. They did. They tried to unalive him with a bullet. Only by a grace of God. Nobody's talking about that anymore because our country and Americans are just too lazy. We're too fat. We're too comfortable as a whole, not everybody, as a whole, as a collective unit, a collective team, a collective group to call out the stuff. And when that happens and you look at history, you have to lose everything before you realize what you had. And I hate that. And I hope that doesn't happen to us. But my God, I see too many people drinking up, sucking up that Kool-Aid. Oh, everything's going to be fine in America. This is how I've always known things. And this is how things are always going to be. Nobody would ever think about doing anything bad to us, right? Of course not.
Well, and talk about division. Kamala Harris, we've heard her say so many times how she believes that no matter where you started in life, that we should all end up on the same playing field because that's what's fair. So if you start out in a, upper class family or you start out in an extremely below poverty line family, that it should be equal.
She did say that.
She has said that many times. Now what she's running on is competition. That's all she's talking about, making sure that everybody knows that we have to stay competitive because that's what makes a country thrive. Well, no, duh. But you in your communist ways, up until now, you have been saying the exact opposite. So which one is it? Are we supposed to compete with each other? Are we supposed to strive for more? Are we supposed to work hard for that American dream? Or are we all just supposed to sit back, put our feet up, and expect the American dream, put on a silver platter in front of us for doing absolutely nothing? So which one is it? Are you trying to encourage people to do more, to be more, to get educated, to work harder? Or are you expecting people to look at their neighbor and go, you know what, I want what you have, hand it over or else? Where are you and where do you stand with this, Kamala Harris?
Well, one thing the Harris campaign is doing, and while the people that they put in office may be stupid or less educated or not be able to speak or have pressers, the people behind the scenes who are running the show are not. The DNC has granted credentials to over 200 social media influencers, and they've given them access that would normally be to events that are only given to the press. So they have not given them to the press. They've given them to the influencers to try. And we've already seen this. Influencers have been calling out the Kamala Harris campaign for trying to buy their vote. And now you're starting to see more of this right now. 200 paid influencers. My God, they will not stop at anything, which is why conservatives and Republicans need to go out and continue to get the word out as best as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These people are coming forward and they're like, I was offered X amount of dollars to show up, to rally, to show fake support for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And that's what they're willing to do. They're dirty. They'll do it. They paid Megan Thee Stallion, God knows how much money, to come and twerk her brains out at one of Kamala's first rallies. I mean, they'll do anything.
And yet, the other thing that's really sad, Megan, I'm sorry, is that you've got the sitting president still here. He and his wife, they're not even going to be at Kamala's official nomination speech.
No, I'm not
This
surprised
is how
by that at all.
This is how crazy the Democratic Party is right now. How anybody could even back a party like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Joe Biden's our guy. Oh, he's out. Oh, now we're going to go to this other situation. Yeah, her name's Kamala. Once again, it's fake. They're not even going to be there. They're leaving after they speak tonight.
Well, they've been awfully quiet this
and
whole
he's
time.
not doing his job either.
Jill Biden hasn't said one word. She probably cannot even stand being in the same room with these people. She is probably so bitter, so upset. She knows that her free rides on Air Force One are coming to an end real quick. And she's probably really, really ticked. And she doesn't want to be around him. And you know what? I don't blame you, Jill. I wouldn't either.
By the way, to work with the Kamala Harris campaign, you have to be fully updated with all vax and boosters to get a job on the Kamala Harris campaign. Isn't that crazy? They're still pushing all that BS as well.
Yeah. And you guys buckle up because more stuff is going to be happening soon. They are going to really start pushing, cupcakes again. And
you think?
I do. I think that there's something in the works right now. We touched on it a little bit last week, but sure, it's election time. Come on. It's time. It's time to fire up a good pandemic, make people feel like they're scared to death to leave their homes. You got to, get them super scared so that they start depending on the government so that the government can tell them what to do and what to say and how to feel and what to eat and when to go to the bathroom and when to wake up and everything else. Yeah. I mean, it's there, of course.
Well, all I can imagine is it's going to be a huge week for the Democrats and a huge week for Kamala because the media says so. That's why. Matthew says, by the way, Fox 2 in St. Louis aired a story last night. COVID being on the rise. And of course, we talked about monkeypox and everything else.
Mail-in ballots.
The media is going to make this a week about the Democrats. Trump campaign just needs to continue to do what they're doing and continue to have shows like ours that put information out there and let people know what the truth is.
So if you need a vaccine this season, whether it be measles or whatever, they're going to be pushing monkeypox, measles, all these good vaccines. Always request no RNA
Yes.
technology.
Good point, Joe. Very good point. Yeah. Try if you can, and you have to do any of those for health reasons or whatever reason it is, you're right. Make sure that you ask about that and ask to request to not have that in there, because that is being linked to a lot of major health issues.
Did you say, Joe, last week your hospital friends are telling you lots of cases of measles?
Yes.
And what was that story?
Well,
I'd love to see.
I was just getting ready to put
Are
it
you
back
able
on.
to say it?
Yes. Well, I can't say who or what exactly, part of the field they're in. However, they work for a pretty big hospital here in St. Louis, and they said that right now there's a lot of measles cases in there, and most of them, well, all of them, every last one of them are immigrants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it
you mean
makes sense.
illegals?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, because they do have different issues, in these different countries. And a lot of these impoverished areas, they don't have vaccines. They don't have the healthcare that we do. And so they come and they bring what they have. And so it's not surprising, who knows what's going to happen with that. If they start talking about mail-in ballots again, I'm going to shrivel up and crawl under a rock.
Well, they don't need to. We've already got all the mail-in balloting. That's all going to take place already. They've got that under. I mean, I know the Trump team is talking about having an opportunity to get more people lined up to go after any sort of illegal activity. But we already know if dead people and illegals are allowed to vote and the voter rolls are not up to date, you're facing a big problem.
Well, but what I'm afraid that they're going to try to do is the left are going to try and tell everyone again, you know what? It's just not safe to leave your house. You're taking a chance of this happening, especially if you're old, especially if you're sick, especially if you're 3 pounds over or more overweight. I mean, whatever they can do to scare people. Is it an option? Yeah. But I don't want them to start doing what they did last time and making people feel like they can't leave their home. And then you've got, Tim Walz will be up, putting out another snitch line, tattletale line, hey, call 1-800-Tattletale if your neighbors are leaving the house. I mean, it sounds funny, but you going back, just 4 years ago, think about how crazy of a time we were living in. We did things and we were doing things that literally seem unreal right now. It seems like a bad movie that we were in, but we did it. And you guys, we did it for a long time. We were walking around like robots for a long time. We were walking around with, unnecessary masks. Most of us, some, yes, need it, still need it, whatever. But, in living in a way that was not necessary. And so I don't want that to happen again. And like Trump says, we will not comply. And I just want everyone to have that same thought and, stay strong and not fall for the same garbage again.
By the way, former Clinton aide Dick Morris and political pundit now says that Trump will, quote, massacre Harris in the debate.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Demolish, slobber, whatever you want to call it. He will.
Regardless of what media tries to do from that standpoint. Hey, before we get out of here today, because we do show headlines, can you imagine, has anybody ever been in a freaking tornado? I saw one coming down the street. I lived in Tornado Alley in Tulsa for a few years. My ex-wife and I and our dog had to get in a hall closet because that's all you had. Or at least that's all we had. Look at this video. I was trying to find out what state it was from. If you see on that, Joe, let me know. But literally, they had high school football practice the other day, and a freaking tornado hit the field. Check this out.
Baby, can you help me?
Yeah.
Baby, can you help me?
I mean, look at the freaking tornadoes hitting the field. Isn't that insane?
Unbelievable.
That's why people, when you see tornado warnings and like they try to get kids off fields, I've been a guy in the past. I'm like, oh my God, why do we have to stop this game? Let's continue, because you don't know what the hell can happen.
Right. It can happen so fast. Look at that.
Well, and it's such an open space in a football field. That's definitely a place for tornadoes for sure.
I mean,
Scary.
Yeah, well, as a friend of mine just said, oh, that's pathetic. You mean stopping football practice because of a stiff breeze? Yeah, if anybody, I was trying to find out where that video was, but my God, that kind of stuff can happen.
It does.
Anyway, wow. Guys, we appreciate you joining us. Hey, another shout out for Complete Auto Body Repair. We're grateful for them. Give them a call. Let them know you're from Cancel This. 314-731-7999. Once again, Complete Auto Body Repair. We've also got sponsorships from David Gregory. He is the conservative injury lawyer, conservativeinjurylawyer.com, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Also, WeQuipUSA.com. Check them out. You can rent products that you don't want to buy or put your own products up, and you're connected with people in your community. When it comes to charcoal, we got the Rockwood Charcoal, 100% Missouri hardwood, the best charcoal in America. Capriati Sandwich Shop in Rock Hill, very unique sandwich. You're not going to find anything like it throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. There's a couple of them around the country. That's in Rock Hill, open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. as well. And of course, when it comes to realty, give Megan Livingstone a call, 314-249-1708, 314-249-1708. You can also email Megan, megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. Before you sign with anybody, give her a call, put a plan together. It's a no pressure call, and then you go from there. Jeannie says we need 5 days. This is not enough time in 1 hour, especially after we've trained you for 2 hours, 5 days a week. I know it's frustrating. I told you we'd do it for a couple months and see how it's going.
Mm-hmm.
There is good news to report, though. We do have lots of people watching, and it's getting a lot of views nationally, which is what it was about. And we're sorry. You guys can come up with a fund and get companies involved that want to have advertising like the Rogan Show. We mean a tenth of the Rogan Show, and we'll talk all day long.
Yeah.
We'll do that if that's what you want. We just need the companies to back us and support us. We'll put the time and effort in. Yeah, we could talk for 3-4 hours and do a show for you. But it doesn't make sense if the companies are not there. So that's what we're trying to build from the algorithm standpoint to buck the system. But we appreciate it. We would love to talk all day.
We could definitely talk all day.
If you have ideas, let us know. We'll get the truth out. That's what we try to do. Anything else that we need to get out there at all, Megan?
No, we can touch on a few of those other Kamala issues during the week, tomorrow or Thursday, because I think that at the DNC, she's really gonna hit on some of this stuff. So we can just kind of piggyback off that.
All right. Skip says, taking our truck in to Complete tomorrow morning for some minor body work, St. Peter's location. Thanks. And let them know you appreciate them advertising with Cancel This. So we'll call it a Monday. Let's see in rock and roll how the week goes. Let us know if there's any other stories we need to do. It is the fastest hour in podcasting. Thank you so much for joining us for 444 Projo, Megan Marie Moret. I'm Vic Faust. Have a great day. Talk to you later.